inefficient. Why? So suppose you have n users share the channel. Even only one of them active, still one user can only use 1/n part of your channel. So if the load is low, it's quite inefficient, right? For random access, it's reversed. It's quite efficient for low load. So suppose we have n users, but only one user active. For channel partition, that only one user can only use 1/n of the channel. But for random access, it can use the whole channel. However, for high load, random access is not efficient. Why? You will see lots of collisions, right? You need to retransmit again. So those two methods, the first two methods, kind of, right? Actually, like this way, right? So how about taking turn? Taking turn, we want to combine both methods. We want to combine them. How we combine them? The first approach, polling. So first, I'm going to show you how the polling works. So on this picture, right, we show one example. You have a master. You have 4 slaves, right? So what's slave? Basically, you do whatever your master asks you to do, right? That's a slave. So that's a big difference, right? For random access, nobody is a master. Nobody control other people. Nobody control the channel, right? However, for this polling, there's a master. This master control the channel, control everything. So he will poll. Now the first host do have data, so we'll send the data to the master. All right, then the master will poll everybody. Then second slave has no data. Then the master will poll the third host or the third slave, and the third host will send the data back. So it will continue like this way, round robin. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Then 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. If you have data, you send data. If you don't have data, you say no data, okay? So basic method summarized here. The master node invite the slave nodes to transmit in turn. So in a predetermined turn, okay? And the slave defines typically is down, means he or she will just follow the master, okay? So what kind of concern we have for this polling is you do have overhead. You do have overhead. So if you have data to send, even nobody else has data, you have to wait for what? For your polling, right? You cannot just send when you got your data, right? That's also bring us latency, right? So overhead, you waste the channel. Latency, bring unnecessary weight. And I consider the third item more serious problem is, how about your master fail? Master do some reason fail, then the whole network will fail, right? So even all the slaves, they work fine, but still the network doesn't work anymore, right? So the next slide, I show in more detail, right? Previous slide just to summarize. The next slide actually show you the functions involved with polling. In fact, there are 2 functions. The first function I indicated here as select function. So select function will be used when master has data to send to slave. All right. So in this example, the master has data to send to B. So what master will do is send out a select message to B. Okay, and B will acknowledge what? I'm ready to receive your data. I say, prepare the buffer you will need, all right, I'm ready. Then the master will send the data. After successfully received, B will send out acknowledge. So this is called the selection function. Selection function, again, used when master has data for slave, for any slave. All right? Now, second function, we call it as poll function. So poll function is used when slave has data to send to master. So look at here. Master first poll A. A has no data, then will reply with NAK. NAK means no acknowledgement, right? No data. Then master will poll B, right? Then B has data, then will send the data to master. And after receive successfully, the master will send out acknowledgement to B. All right? So two functions. The first function, select function. Second function, the poll function. And by the way, for second poll function, the order or the term is predetermined. So here I only show A and B. Poll A, then poll B. So if you have more slaves, right? So all times we call A, B, C, D, or maybe A, B, C, D again. We call this as round robin, all right? So you will repeat this. Okay, actually, the Bluetooth use this polling. So you have a master. If you use multiple Bluetooth device or equipment, right? The polling happens. All right? Now, the quiz actually is about this polling. Okay? And here I said the slaves is dumb, right? So basically slaves can only follow master, right? Now, if A has data to send to B, can A send to B directly? No. Then how can A send his data to B? That's our, through the master, right? How? That's the quiz problem. Now, what time is it now? I will give you the quiz, give you this slide, right, as your reference. You can refer to both pictures to help you. All right, I can tell you, you use two functions, right? Select function, poll function, to give you the answer. So that's our second quiz.
Yes, and the answer would be like that?
Yes. Some people prefer using word to describe. Some people prefer use picture. Both way works, right? So you can choose. So according to your preference, all right? I also have the attendance sheet, so please check your attendance, all right?